All right, have 6 o'clock. I will call this meeting of Budget and Finance Committee to order. Uh, Tonight we have Public Works, Schools, and Highway. Going to kick off with Public Works. We will begin with County Buildings, 51,800, which will be on page 10 of your packets. Um, as as we go through the Public Works, everyone should have this sheet. The color these are proposed salaries in the public works, the various public work line items. Most of them are no change. There are a few targeted increases, mostly part-time positions. I think one or two full-time that are slightly increased. We'll go through those. County Buildings 58,100. There is no change on the custodian on the salary in that line item. Amy, I guess, can you give us the change on the insurance that we discussed previously?
So for buildings, medical insurance is 95.45. And that seems to be the only change at the moment. And that's just for one employee? Yeah.
Ms. Atwood.
Line item 187 overtime pay. It looks like in 24-25 we had $55. Of course, we had amended the budget for 25-26 to 1,000, but it's estimated to come in at 300. Can we reduce that line item?
Cliff, do you want to?
Is there a need, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Cliff, do you want to speak to that?
Sure, we can reduce it, but I mean, you never know what we're gonna come into with the county buildings. That's if we come out on any of the county buildings. I think last year we had the health department's generator go down a couple of times when they lost power, or just things like that we'll get called out on evenings and weekends that we have to take care of.
Mr. Gully.
Line item 335 and 336. Mr. Slee, you always do a really good job with maintenance and repair of your buildings. In the last 2 years, or last year, I should say, there was a large sum in the 24-25 in line item 336. However, both those line items this last year have come in under 20,000 as a total together, added together 18,000, a little over 19,000, $19,000 there, $19,075 to be exact. We've got 50,000 in there. I guess my conversation here is, I saw generator, courthouse, HVAC there on that 336. Are there any expected maintenance service pieces that would require that amount of money in there?
Cliff?
I'm not sure if Jenny's AC units are on here, but hers are in need of repair once to twice weekly now. We're trying to keep them going. Mr. Gilmore seems like we can get another year out of them, so hopefully we can do that. But if that's the need, these will need to be replaced. And then admin building hadn't had a new unit put in since we purchased the building, and they were the originals there when they closed the bank. So any of these could happen at any time. We just try to keep a little pad in there in case something needs to be replaced.
Completely understood. One of our goals with, I guess, future conversations, and one of the goals we've tried to strive for thus far in this committee is that 171 account, where we've added it as a hopefully capital outlay for large projects, but things such as a unit falling down. It's kind of like a savings account that I keep for my home in case something goes down. I think those items could be purchased out of that if need were to arise. Do you see an issue with going that route with those? To me, those look like they could be around 15,000 each or so, and that's covers us well. We spent $5,618 in 2024-25 and 8,500 in 25-26 on line item 335, maintenance and repair to buildings.
Sure, that's fine.
All right, so you're talking about 335, 336 going to 15,000 on each one of those line items. Did I understand? All right, is that a motion? All right. All right, I have a motion by Mr. Goley to line items 335 and 336 to reduce each one of those to 15,000. That's cutting 335 from 20 to 15,000 and 336 from 30,000 to 15,000.
As stated last year, it spent 19,000 and $75. That still gives $30,000 in those two line items.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All righty, those two are reduced. Mr. Gully.
Next line item, 707. In the year 24-25, we spent $900. Last year, we must have had a large project planned. Do we have a project planned again this year? It was budgeted this year at 35,000, last year at 35,923, but we spent $904 in it the year before. I believe we must have had a project planned. I went back and tried to find it, but I didn't see what project was planned for the admin building, archives, and courthouse. That may have been under the generator. I don't know.
Cliff, can you speak to that?
A lot of it is some flooring that still needs to take place here. I don't know if we'll get it done this year or not. The room behind you here needs to be refinished. We've got some a partial that has to be redone inside the archives building. And the admin building, we were looking at polishing floors and updating everything else to LED lights. Also, this courthouse is in dire need of a paint job, so we're going to try to get that done this next year. A lift is pretty expensive to get us up there to the third where we can get the paint and stuff cleaned off and get it repainted. So that'll be a several month project, and it's going to be quite expensive. I can't tell you exactly how much.
Mr. Thomas.
There's also the planning office that needs to be finished out as we combined it with the clerk's old office, that needs to get finished out also. So there's furnishings and whatnot that needs to be taken care of in that also.
Okay. Mr. Gully.
I believe those furnishings would come out of furniture and fixtures, and $5,000 has been put in there. It had no money spent in it last year and $72 the year before. So hopefully that would be able to cover those expenditures. This is admin building, archives, courthouse on building improvements. So improvements to the building, such as the paint job that we were speaking of there, which makes, I would imagine you're going to save the county a lot of money doing it yourself. I appreciate where you're going, just making sure we had a reason for a project this year. It sounded like we had a project last year, $900 the year before in that line item, which meant we didn't have a project planned. We have a large project planned. If 35,000 is needed, Mr. Sleep, is there anything you think you could give up in that one? Let us know.
Anyone else having any questions in this section of the budget? Mr. Gully.
Site development, 724. We had 20,500 in it last year. We spent $200 in it, $210 in it in 24-25. No money this year. What site development do we have for county buildings planned?
Cliff.
No big projects that we know of.
Move to strike that one back to zero. We spent nothing in it last year.
All right, I have a motion to line item 724, strike that from 15,000 to 0. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Overman. Any discussion from anyone? Ms. Kerr?
I just want to make sure, preparing the land for the new jail wouldn't come out of that 15,000. Okay, just making sure.
Okay. That's a good question, though. All right, I have a motion and a second to strike that. Mr. Gully.
At this point, there is nothing in this budget about the new jail. Let's make sure we're all clear on that going through this budget.
Appreciate the clarification. All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, that line item is stricken. Mr. Ford. Use your microphone, please, sir. Use your mic, please.
We had 47,500 last year. We only spent 4750. Why do we come back and put 47.5 in it this year?
Mr. Gully.
Mike can help Miss Amy on that one. I don't know if y'all's have gone up, but our shredded has gone up quite expensively. So I would imagine that shredded will cover that, just being in that side of things, knowing what that shredded cost is. Couldn't say it won't be, but it has gone up.
Yeah,
Quite a bit.
Okay, Amy's saying the county shredding costs have gone up as well, so, Mr.
I'll
Ford.
make a motion, we strike that back to 40,750.
All right, I have a motion to strike that back to 4750. Do I have a second?
4750.
Yeah, 40,750. Do I have a second to that motion? Last call for a second. Motion dies for lack of a second. Ms. Overman.
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Amy, can you give us final numbers and then I'll take your motion?
Yep.
Total county buildings is now 334,467. With the difference in the green of 58,632.
324, 467.
Bottom line is 334,
430.
467. Difference is in the green, 58,632.
I'll second her motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Overman to approve as amended and a second by Mr. Gully. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, that gets county buildings. All right, next one will be the animal shelter, page 25 of your packets. Page 25. This is a total budget amount, 85,646. That is a $24,642 increase from the previous year. Most of that is line item 357. You'll see veterinary services went from 5,000 to 16,000. The shelter is proposing a spay neuter program. Yeah, Cliff, are you able to tell us anything about that?
I wouldn't be able to get deep with it. He couldn't be here tonight, but it's supposed to be for a new program that he's starting to help people that are willing to bring their dogs in and get them spayed and neutered throughout the county that may be less fortunate or don't know that there's resources out there to get it done.
Ms. Overman?
Don't we already have a program, Fixed Trousdale, that does that?
Yeah, it's not a county operated program,
Right, but it's a
but
private
yes.
Nonprofit
Yeah.
that the county does donate to.
I believe, yeah, I believe you're correct on that. Yeah, we donate 2,000 to Fix Trousdale and that's already allocated in the current budget. We did nonprofits the first evening here last week and that was one of the items listed. One thing I was going to ask about Cliff, also the 164, the attendant line item, the proposed amount on your budget says 37,440, but on the sheet we got tonight with the proposed adjustments, it has 36,400. That's about $1,000. Can you explain what the difference is on that?
I can't. Typo, I reckon.
Okay. Okay, so the 37 is the correct one, or the 36,400 is the correct one? Okay.
164 should be moved, 36,400, is that correct?
That is
I put it at
uh 36,405, but yes. That's it. 36,405. Okay, yes.
the $5 helps with buffering at the end of the year because the rounding will go up sometimes with cents.
I'm 100% with you. I don't have a problem leaving it at this number that was budgeted here, the 37,400, 4,400, in case there are any changes along the way through those pieces. It's a small amount that we're talking about in that case.
All right. Any other questions from the committee or from any commissioners here on any of the line items in animal shelter? Mr. Gully.
Just clarification, I'm pretty sure I remember this from last week. Ms. Overman's motion was to that 188 to strike that 188 entirely, correct?
Yes, you're
For
correct.
all.
Yes, the 188 line item bonus payments, that 1125, that is stricken because we opted not to do the enhanced insurance item, and instead just add to our contribution.
So
So-
this is a 40-hour-a-week job that they work Monday through Friday, then who answers calls on weekends? The sheriff.
It's him. He's there on the weekends too. So that's why the overtime's a little high. I've started sending him home early a couple of days a week, or maybe coming in late, just depending on what's going on at the shelter. But yeah, it's him all the time.
Ms. Overman.
A couple years ago, we cut this budget drastically and caused a big stink. And it was my understanding that we were moving this towards the nonprofit, getting it off of the county books. But here we are gradually getting larger and larger. And I mean, are we not making it a nonprofit? Are we not moving in that direction anymore?
Mayor, are you able to speak to any efforts in that regard?
I know, was it 2 years ago that it was beginning to approach like $110,000 or something, and we pared it back? I can say on his part that he has done an outstanding job this past year. He's very innovative in looking at ways to, I think they've only euthanized 4 dogs in the last year. He's great with a foster program. He's innovative in how he gets dog food, and he's wanting to save the citizens some money by doing this spay and neuter program rather than going out of the county. I think he's currently working with Dr. Towns to try to do it here to make it more, I guess the word is just make it easier for folks in the county. He's working on a car show to start raising some of his own money. I don't think after the last manager we had out there, after we stepped away from seeking a nonprofit, that he's picked up on that, but I think given time, he will. I will say this, we used to get volumes of complaints from the animal shelter, and we hardly get any anymore because he's quick to take care of problems out there and handle animals well. That's what I've found.
Thanks, sir.
I have a-
Ms. Bruce.
I know a couple years ago with the higher rates and stuff had a lot to do with the dog food issue. There is going to be an animal control meeting this Thursday at 3 o'clock at the administrative office. So Is that correct, Amy? Is that right? I mean, it's a committee meeting, but I'm sure
Yes,
discussion.
Yes, it's an animal shelter board,
Well,
not animal control board, but,
Okay.
but yeah, it's basically the board oversees the animal shelter.
Okay, so it's just the board. Okay. All right.
Let's go.
One question, the spay and neuter program, am I understanding that's going to be a hopeful large amount now where it's saving us money on number of animals in the future? Is that what I'm understanding that to be? It's going to be advertised to the county and try to bring in multiple people to have their pets spayed neutered?
Cliff, are you?
Yeah, that's the idea. We picked up 13 dogs off Shoot Road, very about the middle of last month where somebody had dumped a bunch of dogs. And, that's the kind of stuff we're running into now. We picked up 2 off Front Street last night, and, we're constantly picking up dogs. So we're just trying to reduce the litters around here. If we can get some of them spayed and neutered, that's our goal.
Mr. Chairman, this is just the mayor's opinion, but I think in the trajectory of what he's got going on out there and his desire to raise some money through the nonprofit, that this would be money well spent to give him the opportunity to do the spay neuter thing. He's very innovative, and I think it'll pay off in spades to the county to kind of give him some freedom to do what he needs to do.
Yeah, I will say if we opt to go this route, I would definitely want to see, the numbers that they're doing, and I guess what impact it has on the fixed Trousdale numbers as well, just to see if it's having the impact. And so that's just my opinion. Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
All right, have a motion to approve from Mr. Gully. Do I have a second? Now that's as amended with the 36,405 in the attendant line item and striking the 1125. Am I correct on your motion, Mr. Gully?
No, I had stated 37,440, leaves that in there. It's a very small amount. And the only strike was the 1,125 in the bonus pay 188 is what my motion was to do.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. All right, I have a motion from Mr. Gully. Do I have a second? Second from Ms. Atwood. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, I have Ms. Overman with a no. Animal shelter is approved. All right, next item will be parks, which will be page 29 of your packets. Total amount here of 281, 483, 86,990 down from the current year. Of course, 388 will be stricken, 1,073. 149 labor line items. There is all the sheet that you got tonight has 2 part-time positions increasing to $14 an hour from currently $13.63 and $12.43, and then 1 full-time laborer going from $15.22 to $16.50 for a total amount of $112,216. If the line item is $122,700, which I guess is the same as the current fiscal year, but we've only spent about 76,000 in there. Would 112 or would that 112,216 cover that, or does there need to be some leeway in there? Mr. Gully.
I think
Sorry.
we're asking the same question here. You're on line item 149, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are all those positions filled is what I have written beside mine, or is there an open position that we're looking to fill in that one?
Okay. Cliff, can you speak to those questions?
There's one opening in the park area right now.
So if that position were filled, this $75,917 would increase. Am I understanding that correctly?
Hang on a minute. So the seasonal is our part-time summer guys that we get from the high school. A lot of times we try to hire those through the state. The state pays them $12 an hour for 200 hours. When they run out of hours, we try to move them over to us and pay them for the rest of the summer because they usually run out of time July, 1st of July, and we wind up having to pull them in and pay them out of our funds to keep them for the rest of the summer. One of the they're all filled, but one of them is part-time. So it's not a year-round thing. A lot of y'all know Mr. Eric Wayne Hall. He helps me during the summer.
Okay, but these 5 positions are all filled right now, you're saying? Okay. Okay, so I'm asking the salary adjustments on this sheet add up to 112,216, but we've got 122,700 on the budget line item. Is there a reason for the difference? Okay, gotcha.
So if I'm understanding that correctly, we could drop that line item to like, say 100,000 and we would cover it well because all of them are filled in that case. Is that what I'm understanding? It's cost 75,917 last year, 83,169 the year before. So it looks like 100,000 would completely cover that.
Well, but based on the handout sheet with the salary adjustments, the adjustment,
Unfortunately, one of those is it isn't showing part-time, it's showing full-time. And that employee is part-time.
okay, it's showing 2 full-time and 2 part-time, 2 full-time, 2 part-time and a seasonal. Is that correct, Cliff?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And there another person is showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 8.
So the budget has a typo on it. That should be 4 laborers instead of 2.
Sorry, say it again.
The notes out to the side looks like are wrong. It should be 4 laborers instead of 2.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that is 4 laborers in that case. I guess my next question then would be the next line item, 168, temporary personnel. On that line item last year, we spent 35,500. Was all pool paid out of this line item?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and we don't have a pool this summer, so
You still have weed eaters.
I don't know that we can strike it entirely, but I think it could certainly be dialed back. Mr. Gully.
Motion to move that to 10,000, cut 20,000.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Gully to cut 168 temporary personnel from 30,000 to 10,000. Did I motion
Yes.
correctly? All right, and a second by Ms. Atwood. Cliff, would 10,000 take care of your weeding?
I hope so.
It don't, we can run it on.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, that one is reduced to 10,000. Are there any other line items in here that anyone wants to look at? Mr. Gully?
Could Miss Amy give us a bottom line and I would make a motion to approve once we have those numbers?
Adjusted bottom line is 258,418. 258,418. With the difference in the green at 110,54.
All right, have a motion by Mr. Gully to approve as amended, second by Ms. Overman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right. All right, next is,
Mr. Gregory,
Mr. Gully.
if I could at this point, I know we're fixing to move to the 111 fund. Tonight's original schedule, we would have looked at emergency services before we looked at what's below us here in the next little bit. I would ask if it would be okay by the chair that we go over and look at volunteer fire. I don't want to change any numbers in volunteer fire since we haven't asked fire chief to be here, but I want to look at the building conversation. Could we go look at that $150,000 building at the 101?
Well, the original schedule and even the change one has emergency and including fire on tomorrow night.
Understood. What I was saying is it would be
They're still on.
before, it would have been before some other items.
I believe Mr. Buckmaster is supposed to be here tomorrow night. I would just soon hold off on that until he's able to be here, because I know there had been discussion about possibly moving that building over into 171, and I'd like him to be able to tell us where.
That's a $150,000 building. I'd make a motion that we look at that building in this committee tonight before we move into the others, because we would have dealt with it before schools already, and it's been put behind it. There's a lot of money we're talking about tonight, and that's $150,000. I would say that we go look at that building and make a decision, see about where this committee is going to go, because it's not going to change much based on what Mr. Buckmaster says tomorrow night, based on a $150,000 structure. We're not talking about striking it. We're talking about where it might come from.
All right, I have a motion to go ahead and take that up tonight. Is there a second? Is there a second? All right, I have a second by Mr. Ford to go ahead and take up volunteer fire department building tonight, not the entire budget. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Yeah, I'll do a roll call on this. Mr. Gully? Mr. Ford? Mr. Gregory? Ms. Atwood? Ms. Overman? Mr. Gregory? And I'm a no, so motion fails 4-3. All right, we will move to 111 waste pickup. That is on page 79 of your packets. Total number here is 355, 365, $31,025 decrease from the current year. If you'll look on your sheet of minute, the Amy, on this sheet has 5 laborers listed, but the notes on here have 2 full-time, 1 part-time on the actual budget sheet. And oh, I'm looking at the wrong page. I'm a part of the sheet. My apologies. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, there are proposed increases in the 149 laborer line item that is taking 2 full-time people from $14 to $16 an hour and 1 part-time from $13.93 to $14. That would increase that 149 line item from 78,000 to 81,120. So a 3120 increase if we opt to go that route. Cliff, are those positions currently filled?
We did interviews this week. We're waiting to just get some drug screens and physicals back. So hopefully soon, but right now, no.
Okay. Any questions from anyone on the committee on this part of the budget?
I have no notes for this one, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Do you want to leave that labor line item as is, or do the salary increase in there? As presented, Mr. Gully.
Just one question on it. Line item, disposal fees, 359. Are we locked in now? I thought we had locked in that rate for a while, but it's increasing again, so it sounds like it was not locked in.
Mayor Chambers locked it in. It was a 5-year contract. It expired last August, and the renew is $50 for the next 5.
That is for 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it went up last year as well. That's where I'm confused. It increased last year and it's increasing again this year.
No, last year was the only
It's a
increase.
leftover note from last year.
Thank you. That's what I was checking on there. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, that increasing to $50 ton note was left over from last year. So yeah, so it's already $50 now. All right.
Just making
Sure.
sure the insurance changes.
Oh, yes, yeah. 19,090 for the insurance line item. And can you give us what the numbers will be?
Ending numbers are 359,325, 359,325.
How
The
did that,
change is in green at 27,065.
wait, how did that go up from 355 to
Because I
359?
accidentally erased that line. What was it? 78. So 354,727. $727.
No, Ms. Overman's motion is leaving that at 78,000. Did I get that correct? Okay.
And it is in the green at 31,663.
All right, I have a motion by Ms. Overman to approve this with no salary adjustment. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Atwood. Mr. Thomas.
I would like to point out that this was recommended by Solid Waste Subcommittee, that the full-time position minimums go up to 16. We've worked on very hard on the Sheriff's Department and on EMS for retention for several years now, and this department keeps being left out. These guys work really hard. It's getting harder to find good quality employees at the price range they're currently at. That's why it was recommended to bump them to 16.
Already I have a motion in a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? No. All right, we'll do a roll call on this. Mr. Gully? Mr. Ford? Mr. Gregory? Ms. Atwood? Ms. Overman? Oh, and I'm a no. So that motion fails 4-3. Okay, is that to approve with increasing to the 81,120? Yes, okay, I have a motion to approve with changing line item 149 to 81,120. Do I have a second to that motion? Second by Jeff Gregory. Any discussion here? Amy, can you give us what the numbers will be? Oh, well, the motion was to approve with those. Was your motion just to change that or to approve with that change? Approve with that change. Okay.
New bottom line, 336,472, 336,472. Change is still in the green at 49,917.
Wait a minute. Yeah, yes, something's not right there because
I did the wrong line. I'm human, y'all. Just hang on. 81,120. Okay. Everybody brought a pencil and not a pen, right? Okay, bottom line, 358,313, 358,313. The net change is still in the green at 28,076. Sorry.
Okay, everybody clear on this? All right, have a motion and a second to approve with this amendment. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, that takes us, now we will go to solid waste, pages 33 through 36 of your packets. So, starting on page 33. Solid waste revenues show $869,274. Pretty much everything, I believe there is about the same amount of property, same property tax ratio, 13.79 cents with 1 cent at 37,895. I believe all other revenues are pretty much the same. Expenses begin on page 34. Now here's where I was earlier, the 149 labor line item. There are 2 full-time positions that show going in the amended salary sheet that y'all have. 2 proposed full-time people going from $14 to $16 an hour, 2 part-time positions going from $13.63 to $14. 1 laborer left unchanged. 145 is what was in the proposed budget. Per this sheet, that would increase to 145,392. Is that correct? $2 an hour would seem like it'd be more than that. No, not if the full times are going from 14 to 16. Okay, I'm told that this is correct. So taking those from, putting those increases, moves this budget, moves this line item up $392 is from what we're told. The attendance line item item 164. There's an increase in one full-time position from 1522 to 1650. 3 part-times that would go to $14 an hour. That would make that line item 78,000. The current proposal has 71,000 in that line item. Everybody with me where we are? If we opt. Mr. Gully.
Just trying to understand something here, and I want to pay our employees a fair rate. Why would a full-time laborer in sanitation, 149, urban service, and a full-time labor attendant here be paid a different rate? Even though they were at a lower point from the beginning, I agree, but why are we paying them a different rate if we're moving one set to 16? Why aren't we moving the other to 16?
Cliff, are you able to speak to that?
Some of these guys that are working these positions are disabled and they don't want a big raise. It'll affect their check.
All right, so if we opt to make these salary adjustments, so it's going up 73.92 in these, and of course, bear in mind, we did just make these same changes in urban services and 101. What's the thought of the committee? Making those adjustments or approve as is?
With adjustments.
All right, I have a motion to approve by Bubba Gregory with the proposed salary adjustments. So that would increase this bottom, an increase of 73.92. Of course, the insurance comes back a little bit. Amy, can you give us what the numbers would be with those? Yeah, just I guess just the bottom line.
Bottom line is 751,017. 751,017. With the net change in the green at 7,331.
I have to. change 11,000 if we did a 73.92 increase.
No, seriously, which line am I? Because I was wanting it with the salary changes.
Yeah, 149 and 164 went up, which would have gone up a total of $7,392. But your, and then your insurance would have dialed back a little bit, so it. Did we not? Did we not do the?
Goes down just a little. 164 goes up just a little, and then. I'm not on the right line, sorry. No. Yeah. Sorry.
Billy, that's right.
And then the line kind of above it.
Right.
Yes. Going by our paper.
Okay.
And then. Is that correct?
I left truck drivers at 65,000.
Okay.
Do you want that change?
That's,
It's just rounding.
yeah.
It's $218.
Yeah, most of the live at 65.
Oh,
Yeah.
my question I did have here, medical insurance, we voted to do $100 per employee is what we're looking at through this
Right.
piece. Does that 78,912 not change?
That's 76,360.
I think that's where the difference
What is-
was. She already had it in that line item.
76 what?
Yes, okay, so we increased 73.92, but we went back about 2,600 less. So that increase should have been in the 40, 46, $4,700 range.
Just a reminder, that's going to also change line items with Social Security, state retirement. Those are going to change as well when you change a rate. So that
Right.
78,000 changed those 22, 618, 26, 630s. They're going to change a bit as well. So
Right.
it 300 or 400 here, 200 or 300 there. Those are the numbers we're talking about.
Okay, so, all right, so the bottom line numbers are correct? Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, can you give us those one more time?
It is 751,017. Net change in the green at 7,331.
All right, I have a motion to approve by Bubba Gregory with amendments. Do I have a second to that motion? Second by Jeff Gregory. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. All right, next line item, page 35 of your packet, 55,751 Recycling Center. I think the only question I had on this one, the one laborer proposed at 42,850, but the only listing on the recycling on the salary sheet shows that position at 35,360. I guess what's the difference
We,
there.
we're holding that for the CO. Hopefully we can get inmate, labor back. Right now, I've got one guy out there trying to do it all by himself, and we send 2 or 3 out there on rainy days to help him get caught up, but it's just a struggle for one man to try to do all that by himself.
Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve as
All right, have a motion to approve. Second by Ms. Overman. Of course, the medical insurance line item will change slightly. Can you give us what the final numbers be there?
Insurance is 95.45. Bottom line is 95,776. With a change in the green at 879.
All right, I have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That one is approved. Same page, 55,759, other waste disposal. No change here, $300,000 budget, estimate for the year, 257,294. Of course, the current rate at Smith County of $50 a ton and Noble Oil Services. Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Gully, second by Bubba Gregory. All in favor, excuse me, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Same page, 55,770, post-closure care costs. This is status quo from the current year, $33,000 total. Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, second by Mr. Ford. All in favor, say aye. Okay. Last one here, 58,400, other charges. It's like an increase of $3,000 total, and it looks like that is between workman's compensation, trustee commission, and a little bit increase in liability insurance. Motion to approve by Ms. Overman. Do I have a second? Second by Jeff Gregory. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, that takes us through Public Works. Cliff, thank you so much for yeah, go ahead and give us what the final fund balance number looks like as of right now, please.
Final fund balance as of June 30th for Fund 116 is proposed at 284,777, 284,777. Difference in the red at 61,532.
Let's go.
I may be asking a dumb question here, but how did that increase when we left everything the same? And the only thing that changed was the medical insurance went down. I'm a little confused how that went from 50,000 to a different number. I don't remember making any changes.
That's an increase of basically $11,000. Medical insurance, of course, went down slightly. We did the salary increases in the 116. Okay. Did we get your question answered?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next, we'll move to Highway Fund 131. This begins on page 45 of your packets. Of course, the only revenue that highway department gets from the county is the little over $120,000 in property tax. Page 45, basically should be a sheet with an explanation of any changes within his budget. Bill, is there anything you want to tell us about what you have on here? Use your mic, please. Okay.
The bridge fund on there is, we're trying to get a new bridge built down at Second Creek on 025. That's about a $350,000 to $400,000 project. And, state aid for paving, I've got 3 roads on the list to try to get done this coming year. And other than that, it's pretty much the same as everything else. We try to leave about the same. And the 117,000 we get from property tax, we put it automatic straight into hot mix. It's all included in the hot mix. So the Improve Act's the only way I got from 200,000 up to 500,000 for paving finally. So, and now with the fuel prices, 140,000 a mile to pave a mile of road for us to do it, about 250 if we contract it. So even, with my 500,000, it's not going to go too far, but that's just all we can do. That's the best we can do with it. So.
Ms. Overman.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve it all.
Okay, I have a motion to approve all highway fund with second from Ms. Atwood. Mr. Thomas.
Bill, when you mentioned the 3 road projects that you have, is one of those Thompson Lane that you told the planning commission you'd widen?
Yeah, no, that's not on there, but I'm just waiting. The deal I made with the Thompsons was they would move them big trees, and they didn't ever move the big trees. And us with no track hoe or nothing, we really ain't got no way to take them big trees out. So, yeah, the other ones is in the county, Dog Branch and Scanty Branch and Honeysuckle Lane. Then I've got Andrews and Church Street and Roger Street on the list here in town. I'm gonna try to get here pretty quick. I just tried to get all the years we can get out of them before spending a bunch of money on it, because all of them's been paid years ago, will last 3 times as long as the new hot mix will. So once we repave them, we'll be repaving them every 6, 7 years probably. So.
All righty, have a motion by Ms. Overman and second by Ms. Atwood to approve highway department. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, highway is approved. All right, and that will take us to the schools. That begins on page 52 of your packets. Bill, thank you for being here. All right, page 52, of course, the revenues for the school system. Of course, as y'all will remember from last Tuesday evening, I had mentioned had a meeting with Wesley Robertson from the state, who, of course, we're looking for ways to save money within the budget and hopefully avoid a property tax increase. Of course, bear in mind, the 101 right now still has that 10-cent property tax increase in there. Wesley's suggestion was to increase the local option sales tax projection from 1.2 to 1.5, and then to at the same time dial back the property tax by the same $300,000 and move that into the 101. Of I said that was the advisement from state, but I will open it up for discussion among the, I mean, of course, I did meet with Ms. Cawthorn and Mr. Kerr last Friday, and Mayor was in there too. Of course, everyone, I think, let it be known where they stood. And I will go ahead and say, Ms. Cawthorn, just want to say on record, I did have every intention of getting in touch with you to advise you of that. And obviously you found out before I had a chance to, so you have my apology for, now that it seemed you felt blindsided. So I do apologize for that. Want to get that on the record. All right, discussion from the committee on school revenues. Mr. Gully.
I'll make one statement here. I've always seen the need to estimate revenues low. I understand that Wesley has supposedly talked with you and had a conversation about estimating that revenue at this new spot. What I'm getting at is when you're estimating a revenue, we're seeing many counties around us that are having to go back right now on their sales tax, is where they've overestimated sales tax and are having to go back and increase. I think Mount Juliet last year had increased their property tax by like 30 cents just to cover them, to make up what they had overestimated in sales tax that had cut back. Why that happened, I can't really say, but I can say that as we are squeezed at the pump, more dollars will be going into the gas tank, which goes into the road highway fund piece of things, than they do going into our sales tax. And when people are squeezed there, they're going to spend less on other items. I do caution ever overestimating a revenue stream in this manner.
All right, Ms. Overman.
Is the budget we have in front of us the one the school board approved?
Yes.
I would make a motion to approve this that is presented to us.
Second.
Okay, is that leaving the? Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve as sent with no adjustment on any of the revenue line items. I'll make sure I'm clear on y'all's motion.
100% clear. One statement to that. If I understand it correctly, this was a status quo, no increase to anything they were asking for from us.
All right, Mr. Thomas, I think you want to be recognized.
So as I hear what Landon's saying about overestimating, if you were to do what the state recommended, that would still bring you up to 1.5, which is still $400,000 less than what it shows the estimated last year would be. So it's not like you're estimating, you're looking at it as you're going to go up and match what got, I mean, you're still leaving a healthy cushion of $400,000 there.
I'm really glad Mr. Thomas opened the floor for that. There was this really large anomaly this last year that we all found. It was really nice in our 171. I think it was 1.5 million, maybe 2 million that went in from Enbridge for a building permit piece to that conversation that was decided. And I think there was $500,000 to $600,000 that both the county and the school received in a large sales tax. Something about a lot of pipe that's going through our county was delivered to our county. And this county was fortunate that all the piping for that project got delivered to our barge inlet up here. And that sales tax landed on our steps, which was a great piece from Enbridge. And I'm thankful it happened. I don't think it's ever smart to estimate something that was a one-time large increase in this, but I appreciate you bringing that to the table.
One thing I will bring up, everybody should have this sheet, receive this tonight. This is a sales tax collection for the current fiscal year, 2025-26. From July 1st through the end of March, the total sales tax collected by the county through end of March is $2,803,555. Of that, 56.31% has gone to the school system, or $1,578,637. and those numbers are with 3 months to go in the current fiscal year. The lowest number that sales tax number has looks like July was the lowest number at 216,294. So that bottom line number probably can say will go up at least another $600,000. And of that, I believe 5347 is the mandated percent wide to schools versus county. But so both those schools and county line items will go up before the current end of the year. Mr. Gully.
Mr. Gregory, I'm really glad you brought that up again. That again is the same money I was just talking about, because if you'll go look over to the right of the same document you're looking at, in 21-22, the schools received $994,874. In 22-23, the schools received $1,134,660. In 2023-24, they received $1,179,046. In 2024-2025, when we didn't have that Enbridge craziness, which I'm thankful happened, they received $1.31 million. We're asking to go 200,000 above that number on an estimated revenue. That is not smart. We do have a motion and a second on the table, and that number is, for the last 3 years, has been, except for this year's anomaly, has averaged under 1.2. I think that's a very smart budget play.
All right, I have a call for the question. All right, the motion is to approve as is, making no adjustments in the revenue line items at all. All in favor say aye. Opposed? I'll vote no. All right, I'm gonna do a roll call on this. All right, Mr. Gully. Yes. Mr. Ford. No. Mr. Ford is no. I'm a no. Jeff Gregory. Yes. That would, yes. Zorman. Bubba. All right, that motion passes 5-2 to approve with no adjustment on these salary line items. Ms. Gothard, is there anything you want to tell us about your budget? We've already approved it. It's like that.
And I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. With that money, we are going to renovate the bathrooms at the field house, which is a long time coming. We are going to give a non-certified staff raises across the board, and we are looking to add a couple of new teaching positions that's much needed at the middle school especially. And I do appreciate your votes tonight.
Okay, that takes us to the end of tonight's agenda. Yeah, Mr. Kerr, please. Alrighty. Tomorrow night we will have emergency services and ambulance fund, or 18. Mr. Beatty did advise this morning that he will not be able to be here tomorrow night. Of course, his daughter is on the softball team, and they'll be playing out in Gordonsville. I did email him a couple of questions that I had in his budget with regards to the ambulance remount and the third-party billing. Mr. Beatty did send me answers to those, and those answers will be provided to everyone on the committee before tomorrow evening.
Before we get a motion to adjourn, since it looked like this committee would like to have people here, could you ask the sheriff to be here tomorrow night? I want to look at something about that line item on the car. We didn't want to talk about a building, so I want to make sure we've looked at a line item about the car tomorrow night. We're still needing to find money to be put into 101 so that we don't have a tax increase. That's my goal in this whole piece. There are dollars that we could use in a different manner, whether those be the 127, the 128, or they be the 171. We have the dollars to cover those where we don't have to pull that money out of the 101, and that's about $225,000 that I'm talking about right now. We're trying to look for 300. So I'm trying to look through this budget for those dollars, and I know this budget really, really well. I've looked through it heavily. I think we can find the dollars if we want to find the dollars. But I would say, since we don't want to talk about anything without anybody being here except for the schools, I will throw that plug in there because we talked about that last week. Clearly, however, I would like to ask that the sheriff come and make sure he would be okay if we still buy the car, but we buy it out of a different fund. That's all I was asking for in the building tonight, and I'll rest the floor.
Okay, I will say, I did run into the sheriff, at the grocery store the other day. He talked a little bit, and, he indicated that he was not really keen on the idea of, taking a car from the drug fund. Even though we can, but yeah, I will ask him to be here tomorrow night. Ms. Kerr, you had a question?
I know you all just approved the school fund, but was insurance in there that needed to be changed?
No, the school system covers the insurance for its own employees.
Just going forward for commissioners to understand, the commission only approves the revenues of the school. We don't do anything to do with expenditures. Everything we've been talking about tonight has been county expenditures. Okay, our revenues are pretty well set. We set an expectation. We set 1.3 million in our line item as well for that expected property tax, which I understand school gets a little more percentage. However, we don't set anything to do, when you're, as commissioners, you don't do anything with the school board's expenditures, only if they need to come to you and ask you for a project to build something. Otherwise, those things we do not do. That's not the commission's. It's only revenues that are reapproved.
Mr. Thomas, you want to be recognized?
In your discussion with the sheriff, did he mention what he was planning on doing with the funds? If he's not going to spend them on a car?
No, and that's something we can ask him tomorrow. But I will reach out to sheriff and ask him to be here tomorrow night. And if anyone has any questions in the ambulance budget before tomorrow, like I said, since Matt won't be able to be here, please let me know as soon as possible, and I'll send it to him and try to get answers on those. And of course, if we do have any questions that require Matt to be here, of course, we still have Monday's regular meeting, and we can always ask him then if there's something that requires his presence. Motion to adjourn by Ms. Atwood, second by Mr. Gully. We are adjourned. Thank y'all.